Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for our webinar presented by KPI University entitled AI Basics for Business. I'm Brian Pickell. I'm the CEO of KP Interface. One of the things here at KP Interface we like to do is to help companies and organizations learn how to leverage technology to their advantage in order to further optimize their business and bring further efficiencies to their organizations. We'd like to bring relevant topics to the forefront and offer some insights that might be helpful. Obviously, one of the hottest topics in technology and in business today is AI. And with this webinar, we're basically seeking to simply level set our understanding of what AI is at its core, what it is, what it's not, and how to go forward with it. I'm happy to introduce to you today our speaker, Blaise Desirati, who is KPI's lead AI specialist. Blaise?
All righty, welcome in everybody. Again, this is AI Basics for Business. I'm Blaise Desirati, the AI specialist here. And again, this is AI 101. It's basics for business, so no question is too basic. Drop any questions in the chat throughout this whole presentation. Nothing is too basic. So if you have any questions, just let it fly in the comments. Our agenda today, we're going to define AI for you guys, talk about the different types of AI, explain the risks associated with it, get into the best security practices when using AI, and lastly, building out your AI strategy. All right, let's get into it. So what exactly is AI? AI is basically just computers doing tasks that normally require human intelligence. It's not magic, it's not sentient, and it's not fully autonomous. It's machines doing tasks that require human-like reasoning. So you'll hear the term AI thrown around in lots of different ways, but to keep it practical, I group it into three buckets today. We have expert systems, machine learning, and generative AI. With expert systems, this is the old school if this, then that type of logic that we're used to seeing in scripts or in workflows. With machine learning, this is where algorithms ingest past data and they learn from it. So think of credit scoring or financial forecasting. Lastly, we have generative AI, which I'm sure is what most of you guys are using day to day. This is our newest wave, and this is what's actually drafting emails, scripts, and even images on demand. So we're mainly going to be focusing on Gen AI with what we're talking about today. And we'll get into machine learning when we discuss insights, but you can see how each type plays a role in real projects. Okay, so AI versus automation, let's clarify the difference. People use these terms interchangeably, but there is a key difference to them. So automation is repeatable rule-based tasks. AI is more dynamic. This is decision-making on complex problems. So automation is all about doing the same steps over and over. So think of a nightly backup job that you're running or routing every invoice PDF to your accounting folder. It never will change its behavior. AI, by contrast, it learns and adapts. It looks at past data or patterns and it improves over time. So think of a fraud detection system that spots new attack methods without ever having to reprogram it. Both are extremely valuable, but automation frees you from those manual chores while AI tackles problems where the rules are not always the same. Alrighty, so what is a language model? You hear this thrown around a lot, and it can be a little bit confusing. A language model is a new way of saying how we speak to a computer in our common language. So before this, we were only communicating with computers by typing in code with it. So this is a way of just using common language to talk to the computer. You hear private language model and large language model thrown around a lot. And so we'll refer to a large language model as an LLM. So this is a pre-trained general purpose language model, usually hosted by third parties. It scrapes the internet for all of its training data, and it's a lower barrier to entry with lower data control. So when we're talking LLMs, this is what we mean with ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity. They're really, really powerful out of the box, but your prompts and any data you send in live on their servers. So what you're doing is trading off convenience for less control over sensitive data. Next is PLMs, private language model. So these language models are fine-tuned and they're trained on your own data in a controlled environment. So it can be tailored to your industry or organization-specific content. They can be deployed on premises or in a dedicated cloud tenant. They have very strong data governance and compliance. So they give you that same language understanding power, but it's wrapped in your own security and compliance framework. So you're deciding exactly what data they see and where it stays. Okay, so let's compare some of the leading large language models. And I want you guys to, if you're using these today, just drop it in the chat. Which one is your favorite AI tool to use? So we've got ChatGPT, which we all know and love. It's great for general use, brainstorming, writing assistant, data interpretation. It's really fluent and it's very creative and you can customize it. Um, One thing about it though is that it can confidently hallucinate. So it's really, really important to be double checking that output that you're seeing. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of love for ChatGPT right now. Cool. Yeah, so who is ChatGPT for? It's for every knowledge worker who needs creative brainstorming, drafting help, or a conversational Q&A partner. So think marketing teams, customer success reps, anyone who writes or researches regularly. Next one, which a lot of people may be familiar with, is Copilot. So Copilot is great for enterprise level productivity and task automation. It's highly, highly secure, but with that, there is limited creativity outside of those 365 apps that you use every day. Who it's for is for people who already work in a 365 environment who want seamless AI assistance without leaving those day-to-day apps. Next, we have Anthropic's Claude, which is great for long document reading and summarizing. There's very strong reasoning. It's just a little bit slower than others like ChatGPT and a little bit less creative. But who Claude is great for is if you're working in legal, compliance, or a research team tackling really long documents. Next is a little controversial. We have DeepSeek. It's great for developer use and it's able to be self-hosted, so you can really do a lot of customizing with it. Some people claim there's poor support and poor UX, so can struggle with tone, and there's certainly security concerns with it. It was a few months ago, but there was a lot of headlines about the security of DeepSeek. It had a big breach. I know that it's centered in China, so a lot of people are apprehensive when it comes to DeepSeek. It's worth looking into, but it definitely is not the most secure option. Next up, we have Perplexity. Perplexity is so good for research. It comes with cited sources. It's always up to date, and it's always factually accurate. However, it is limited with in-depth reasoning. It's made more so for search, so it's a little bit less generative. So this is great for your analysts and your researchers who require up-to-date citation-backed answers. Oh, we got a Gemini in the chat. Nice. This is great for someone who requires up-to-date citation-backed answers. It's great for fact-checking and exploratory search with transparent sourcing. Okay, so let's get into chatbots versus agents. I know you hear chatbot all the time, and you might have been hearing agent thrown around a lot this year in particular. So let's get into the difference of them and explain what they really are, because a lot of people are kind of confused when it comes to talking about agents. So chatbots are very reactive. They wait for your question and then they give you an answer. So think of ChatGPT when you type in a prompt. For example, what's our latest sales total? And it'll spit it right back out to you. An agent, on the other hand, is more proactive. They actually do work, whether it's pulling data to running a complete process. So, for example, an agent could automatically generate your sales report at 6 p.m. and email it to you. So, has anyone in here ever used an agent? If you have, say yes in the chat, or let me know in the chat if you are using any right now. There's a lot more coming out every single day when it comes to agents. So, a lot to be explored with that. Okay, and so when we're talking about agents, there is a spectrum here, from simple to advanced. On the lower end of the spectrum, it's a retrieval agent. So what it's really doing is just retrieving information that's grounded in your data. So just like a chatbot, it'll give you what you're asking it. The next step up from that is a task agent. So it really does take that next step. It'll create tickets for you, it'll update records, or even send emails on your behalf. Then when you really get into the weeds of it, you can go deeper and get to an autonomous agent. So these agents chain multiple tasks end to end, requiring no prompts after the setup. Over time, you can move from simple retrieval bots to fully autonomous assistants that handle entire workflows for you. Okay, so what are some quick win use cases for with AI that you can start doing today? And again, we want to keep in mind over on the right in this slide, what we're really getting after with AI. What we want to do is increase our revenue, optimize our costs, and by doing that, we're going to help our employees thrive as well. So first off, you can draft and paraphrase emails and documents. So ask Copilot or ChatGPT to draft your next status update, give your client a follow-up or a policy memo in just a few seconds. If the tone's not quite right, just prompt it again to be more formal, be more friendly, or be more concise. Next up would be transcribing and summarizing meetings and calls. So record a Teams meeting and upload it, and you can paste in your call transcript as well. Ask it for a bulleted summary. You'll get key decisions, action items, and deadlines without spending time on manual note taking. Next is we can extract and classify form data. So point an AI workflow at your Microsoft form and have it pull out names, dates, and request types. It can even tag requests by category, so you're skipping all of that copy and pasting. Next up would be brainstorm ideas and headlines. So let's say you work in marketing. Use a prompt like, give me 5 catchy email subject lines for our June newsletter. This way you can instantly overcome writer's block. You'll see a range of creative options to plug right into your campaigns. And the last one there is extract key points from text. If you've ever gotten a huge document that you have to read and give a report on the next day, I know it can be a little daunting sometimes. So paste any long report or article and then ask, what are the top 3 takeaways? And it'll surface the critical insights so you can focus on decisions instead of reading every single page.
Blaze, if I could just ask everybody if they're using AI today for these kinds of things, just drop it in the chat. Let us know how you're using it today, whether it's drafting emails, reformulating, articles or paragraphs, or I used it yesterday for creating a brand new logo. So if you're using anything, please drop it in the chat.
Yeah, for sure, guys. Definitely drop it in the chat. Let me know what saved you the most time with using AI as well. So for sure. Okay, risks and protections. Let's pause to cover the top 3 risks of AI rollouts and the core protections you need before scaling. So hallucinations and bias drift. When you think of a hallucination, you think of seeing something that isn't there, right? So that's pretty similar to what's happening with AI when it hallucinates. AI can invent very convincing but false information, and it can also reinforce unfair patterns if it's left unmonitored, which undermines your trust in its outputs. Next would be shadow IT, which occurs when employees bypass approved systems and paste sensitive data into public AI tools. So this will expose your information to these uncontrolled environments. Next would be an over-reliance on AI. When teams rely on AI too much, you can lose touch with those core skills that make these tasks meaningful. So if the AI ever goes offline or it's making mistakes, there's nobody left who can understand these processes. So to guard against these risks, let's implement 3 key protections. First will be your DLP policies and sensitivity labels. So companies like Microsoft, they already help organizations prevent the unauthorized sharing, transfer, and use of sensitive information. That's what a data loss prevention policy is. So you want to leverage these existing DLP controls and these label-based protections to block or encrypt any AI requests that are touching confidential content. Next would be establishing clear usage rules. You should also set up audit trails so that every AI action is tracked and you can quickly detect any misuse that's going on. Lastly is human diligence. Do your due diligence and double check the AI outputs. I know sometimes it's obvious when the AI is hallucinating, but just skim through it. That extra time, it'll really save you at the end of the day. You never know what's in there that might not be adding up or might not actually be factually correct. So do your due diligence. Make sure you're just brushing over it that extra time. It'll really go a long way for you. So with these in place, you'll unlock AI's benefits while keeping your data and your reputation safe. So let's get into how to build an AI use policy. What you're going to want to do first is define your scope. So with so many tools out there, there's new tools coming out every day. You want to come up with a stack and define what tools is your organization allowed to use. Next is you're going to want to define what data you can put into it. Can it be linked to your SharePoint with sensitive data? It's important to think about that. After that would be roles. So maybe your marketing team can have unlimited access to AI tools, but you want your HR team to have a stricter policy when it comes to handling the more sensitive information. After that, we want to determine permissions. So what's allowed and what's prohibited. If you're a financial firm, you definitely don't want to be adding sensitive client information into there. So maybe come up with a good list of do's and don'ts for your organization when it comes to using AI. After that, you want to enforce it. How are you going to monitor your organization's use? How are you going to audit it? And lastly, what would be the consequences if an employee is misusing AI? From there, you're going to want to publish it and train every user on how to do it. And so here's just an example of what you should be looking into when you're establishing this use policy. I'm using Copilot for an example because it really nails security on 3 different fronts. The data security, your access controls, and the data residency. So with the data security, Copilot indexes content within your existing security boundaries. With the access controls, Copilot honors those exact permission models that you already use. So if someone can't see a SharePoint site, Copilot can't either. Last is the data residency. Your data is encrypted end to end, and it lives inside of your own tenant, so it's never in a shared public cache. These are really important to think about when you're crafting this use policy, because security is the #1 priority when it comes to using AI. Okay, and so building out your AI strategy, here's the 5-step roadmap that I've come up with to get AI out of being something that's nice to have and getting it into your day-to-day operations. What you're going to want to do first is assess. So run an inventory on your current systems, your data sources, and your pain points. Run a quick workshop or a survey to see where you spend time and what data you already have, so you're not exactly starting from scratch. From there, you want to align. Match your AI opportunities to your business goals and priorities. Pick the top 2 to 3 scenarios, like speeding up response times or automating expense reviews. These can map directly to cost savings and increase revenue. From there, we will implement. So build a small pilot, either a Copilot agent or a ChatGPT workflow, and roll it out to a target group within your organization. This shouldn't be a broad deployment yet. It's a focused proof of concept so that we can learn fast without a full-blown change management. After that, educate. Train your end users, share the best practice guides, and really bake AI into your onboarding. So once the pilot proves its worth, run short training sessions and office hours so that your teams know how to use these new assistants confidently. Lastly, you'll evaluate. So you want to measure the usage, the time saved, and user satisfaction. From there, you can refine and scale it out. So look at the metrics. Did we hit our ROI targets? Where did our agents fall short? From there, you can reiterate and plan the next wave. And one last note about this is you want to constantly update this strategy. It could be quarterly or it could be monthly, but when the landscape of AI is changing by the day, it's really important to stay on top of it and just keep updating it. So, yep.
Okay, so Blaze, thanks for all that information. So really, the next thing is, where do we go from here? So we understand the basics of AI. We understand more now what it is. We understand how basically it can help us, and how do we, potentially build an AI strategy for our business. But where do we go from here? One suggestion is to get some help and consider an AI readiness assessment. And what that looks like is a survey of about 30 questions which will look at, hey, where's your organization today with AI? Who is using it right now? How are they using it? What kind of data are they inputting into it? A lot of people might be using your organization, or just a few people, but oftentimes we don't have any kind of real insight into how it's being used. We can take a look at how the business could use AI and how it could benefit from AI in a prioritized fashion. What are the true business needs? What are the greatest needs of the business? Is there a way that AI can help? Then determine the best next steps. Is it creating agents? Is it implementing a specific type of AI into your organization? Is it using AI to assess data or automate things that you currently have in place? Do you have applications that have now AI built in that you're not utilizing? Those are the types of things that we can look at. And then eventually develop a strategy with goals for the organization, policies, and implementation steps in order to take you from where you might be today to next year. So you can sit back and say, hey, we're not only just using AI here and there, we actually have a corporate strategy on how we're going to use AI and how we're going to help it to advance our company forward.
Great. So if you guys have any questions for me, please just drop them in the chat right now. I see one here from MJ Doherty. Can you explain how Copilot is used within Microsoft 365? So many people are used to looking at Copilot sort of like ChatGPT as a chatbot, which it is, and that is the free version, and it's referred to as Copilot Chat. But once you get the paid license, ChatGPT is directly integrated into all the apps that you use within 365. So you can have it right there for you in Word, right there in Excel or PowerPoint. So if you need to make a presentation, you're talking to Copilot and it's whipping up the PowerPoint for you instead of you picking the theme or the layout or anything like that. Or if you have it in Excel, you can have it just crunch all those numbers for you instead of you having to memorize any formulas or anything of that nature. So it's very, very handy to have integrated into all of those apps. Let's see. Any other questions, guys?
Blaze, what are some of the concerns around potential use of AI in a way that might be insecure for companies?
I'm sorry, Brian, can you say that once more?
Yeah, so I was thinking about some of the security concerns surrounding use of AI in companies. Can you explain
Yes.
that?
One big concern is that, if you're using ChatGPT like it's your assistant, all that data that you're putting into it, it's living on their servers. Now, we don't know if OpenAI is selling that info to anybody, but still, it's not a best security practice at all to have that important info just saved on someone else's servers. So that's one reason why I endorse Copilot so much, is that all that sensitive enterprise data stays within your own tenant. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on these days, is where all of your data is residing within these companies. So for sure, it's best practice to see your preferred AI, what they're doing with your data.
Right. Alex here is talking in the chat about specific ways in his organization. Alex runs Bassett's Ice Cream, but has his own distribution network. And he wants to learn more about agents that can help collect the customers' orders on a more timely basis. And also potentially learn how they could do better delivery route optimization using AI. So Blaze, can you touch on that maybe a little bit about
Yeah,
possibly what might happen?
yeah, Alex. So we're actually going to be doing workshops on building agents after this webinar, and we'll definitely be focusing on them more heavily in the next upcoming webinars. But for right now, like, let's say you wanted to make an agent with Copilot, and if Copilot has all of your data already, you just talk to it and be like, hey, so you want to help collect your customers' orders on a timely basis. You just tell Copilot exactly what you want. You point it to what data is there already, and it'll help you build it step by step. It's really, really simple. But again, we'll be doing some workshops on building agents in particular. So stay tuned for that, and feel free to reach out to me if you want any more details on that. Um, yeah, Copilot, it can send emails. I don't know about making calls, but I'm sure there's an agent for that as well, which we can look into. Yeah, and optimizing a delivery route for sure. I mean, I do that all the time. Um, my family had a flower shop, and I was the delivery guy for years, and I was using ChatGPT to optimize my delivery route all the time. So you can even say, make this the most fuel effective route, or do one that will save me the most time, and you can really get creative with it. So yeah, for sure. If you have any more questions about that, definitely feel free to reach out to me. So
Right.
yeah. So it seems like that might be it for questions. So thank you guys very much. My email will be on the next slide. So seriously, okay, info@kpinterface.com. If you have any questions, send us an email right there or reach out to me directly. If you're interested in a readiness assessment, definitely reach out. And also let us know what other topics you'd like to hear about. Alex, I know you were chiming in on that. But guys, don't be a stranger. Let us know what you want to hear about. We want to help you guys out. So any questions you have at all, send them our way.
Great. Well, again, Alex, as you mentioned, we will be having more topics on AI. Again, we wanted to start here today with just the basics. And then from here, we'll dive into more practical applications of AI in various business cases going forward. But if you want it to be more particular to your business, then definitely email us at info@kpinterface.com. We'll set up a meeting to initially go over what a readiness assessment would look like and how it works, and how we can then bring more insight to your business and how you can actually implement AI in your business more strategically. So, all right. So with that, Blaze, thank you for your presentation today. We really appreciate it, and everybody who joined, we appreciate your time. Again, we'll be in touch with more information and more topics in the future. Thanks again, and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.